Have you ever really stopped to think about the ground that's right under your feet? I mean, it's so much more than just dirt, right? It's literally the foundation of entire civilizations. So today, we're going on a journey and we're going to dig deep into the rich and incredibly diverse soils of India. So think about this. Why can you grow these beautiful, fragrant tea leaves in one part of India, but then in another, you get fluffy white cotton? The secret behind this incredible agricultural tapestry, from the massive wheat fields up north to the coffee plantations in the south, it's all written right there in the soil itself. Okay, before we really dive in, we've got to shift how we think about soil. It is not just some inert substance. Nope, it's a living, breathing system. It's a vital resource that forms the foundation for pretty much all life on land. So here's our game plan for the journey. We're going to start in those super fertile northern plains. Then we'll travel south to the ancient Deccan Plateau, brave the soils of some pretty extreme climates, and finally, we'll climb the heights to check out the mountains. Let's get going. All right, our first stop, the Great Alluvial Plains. This right here, this is the agricultural heartland of India. This whole landscape of just immense fertility is blanketed by what's called alluvial soil. And let me tell you, it's the single most widespread and important soil type in the entire country. So what's its secret sauce? Well, you can kind of think of it as a gift from the Himalayas. It's actually formed from all this nutrient-rich silt that's been carried down and dropped off by three huge rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. And this special delivery is this perfect mix of sand, silt, and clay. And it's packed with all the stuff plants absolutely love, like potash, phosphoric acid, and lime. But, not all alluvial soil is created equal. Geologists actually classify it by age. The older soil, which they call Bhangar, is a bit coarser and has more of these little calcium bits in it. But the newer soil, the Khadar, is made of much finer particles. It gets topped up by floods more often, and that makes it way, way more fertile. And here's why that is such a big deal. This incredible fertility is exactly why these regions are perfect for growing things like sugarcane, paddy, and wheat. It's also the reason they're some of the most densely populated places on the planet. The soil literally shapes where and how millions upon millions of people live their lives. Okay, from the river plains, our journey now takes us south, down to the ancient Deccan Plateau, which is home to a completely different and frankly much more colorful set of soils. Now look at this. This is black soil, sometimes called Regur soil. You can see its iconic cracked appearance, which happens when it dries out in the sun. And this soil, well, it's legendary for growing one very, very important crop. And yep, that crop is cotton. That's why it's famously called black cotton soil. It was formed from weathered lava flows in the Deccan Trap region, so you'll find it all across states like Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. And its superpower? It has this amazing ability to hold on to moisture, which is just absolutely crucial for crops to survive. But the Deccan isn't just a world of black soil. In other areas, places that get a lot less rainfall, a totally different kind of soil develops on these ancient crystalline rocks. And this is where the landscape starts to turn red and yellow. So what's the deal with the color? It all comes down to geology. That signature red hue comes from a high concentration of iron that's spread all through the parent rocks. I mean, it's basically rust, but on a massive geological scale. So what about the yellow soil then? Well, this is the really cool part. It's a simple chemistry trick. When that same iron-rich red soil soaks up water, when it gets hydrated, its color actually changes. It takes on this yellowish look. It's the exact same soil, just add water. All right, let's keep this journey moving. We're now heading to regions that are defined by their really extreme climates. And believe me, the soil here has a very different story to tell. First up is Laterite soil, and its name gives us a perfect clue about what it's like. It comes directly from the Latin word later, which means brick. And that's because when this soil dries out, it becomes incredibly hard, just like a brick. See, Laterite soil is a product of some crazy weather, specifically alternating wet and dry seasons. The heavy monsoon rains cause this process called intense leaching, which basically means all the good nutrients get washed right out of the soil, leaving it acidic and really vulnerable to erosion. But wait, here's the twist. You'd think this soil would be pretty useless, right? Well, despite being naturally low in nutrients, if you use the right soil conservation techniques, this very same soil becomes incredibly valuable. In the hilly areas of Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, it's absolutely perfect for growing high-value crops like tea, coffee, and cashews. From intense rain to intense heat, we now find ourselves with arid soil. You'll find this in the deserts of western Rajasthan, and this soil is a direct result of its harsh environment. It's sandy, it's salty, and it lacks organic matter because the super high temperatures just cause any moisture to evaporate almost instantly. A really key feature is this deep layer of kunkur, or calcium carbonate, that acts like a hard barrier, preventing any precious water from just seeping away. For our final stop, we're climbing high. We're going up into the hilly and mountainous regions to explore what is easily our most variable soil type yet. Welcome to the world of forest soils. Now, the most important thing to get about this soil is that there's no single description for it. Its texture, its composition, it changes dramatically depending on the specific mountain environment where you find it. Honestly, it all depends on the altitude. Way up high on the snowy peaks, the soil is constantly getting stripped away by the elements, which leaves it acidic and with very little organic matter. But then, as you travel down to the sheltered valley sides and the river terraces, what you find is rich, loamy, and highly fertile soil. It's a world of contrasts, all within one single mountain range. And just like that, our journey is complete. I mean, from the fertile river plains and the volcanic plateau to the extreme climates and the rugged mountains, we've seen how India's landscape is painted with this incredible diversity of soils, each one with its own story, and each one shaping the life that grows on top of it. It's a pretty humbling reminder when you think about it. It takes millions of years to create just a few centimeters of this precious resource. It's not just the foundation for our food, but for our entire civilization. Which, of course, leaves us with a critical question. What can we do to better protect this living system for all the generations to come?